Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, we got a little bit of Miss Chalet, and she's going to be singing something, in her heart. And her heart. The woman didn't get a dime for producing this song. This song is a classic, and to this day, DJ Ren and that wonderful little Dr. Dre did not pay this woman. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I'm just going to talk on it just for a second. Just for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, that was at the time I was off and dabbling in the industry, and we were getting ready to get into negotiations with Ren and Dre. This was before they became popular. They were only, known in the neighborhood. And we knew that they did things like this to people, and that's why we did not venture any further. But here she is, Miss Chalet, ladies and gentlemen. This woman can sing. They just pulled her in and had her do this song. Somebody should know there's something in this woman's heart. Remember those songs she did with them? The woman barely got enough to pay rent for 1 month for producing this. All for free. All the money they made off of this song. And this woman, this thing has 41 million views. That shows you how popular this song is. Ladies and gentlemen. And they didn't pay her. Sorry about that. That's not the premise for this video, so I apologize, but that's the intro. Thank you all for joining us here. We got a couple of things that we need to talk about. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about in this video, because this video is important. Remember, on this channel, the RedressRight channel, we talk about law and all things law. Why? Because you need to know the law. If you don't know the law, then you don't know... Excuse me. Clear my throat. So hold on. I went to our friend Perplexity, and I said, hey, Perplexity, state of California government officials and public officials must be bonded, the codes. So give me the codes, woman. And so that's what she did. Now, we're going to raise this up because we want y'all to see it a little bit larger. Okay, so that y'all can read it, so that y'all can see it, because I ain't going to be reading every single word. I'm just telling you what I put in there, and this is what we got. Now, this is California. You'll do the same thing for Georgia. You'll do the same thing for Tennessee. You'll do the same thing for Atlanta. That's Georgia. You'll do the same thing for Missouri. Now, I mentioned Tennessee on purpose because of Mr. Nichols and his family. Ladies and gentlemen, those officers are off duty. They're no longer going to be working for the but they can also sue the bonding company. Okay, they can go after each one of their bonds because they were insured at the time. They killed that man, but the same thing for all of the other people who've been assaulted by the police, and nobody did anything about it. It doesn't even matter if you signed an NDR. It doesn't matter if you said, I'm not going to sue that officer. You go after their bond. You're not suing the officer. You're going after the insurance for the injury. Go after the insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to correct police? You want to correct judges? Well, start attacking their bonds. Start letting them know that they're not absolutely immune. Go after their bond, go after their bond, and say, how you like me now? Kumo D told me to ask you that question. Okay? Now, let me show you. California, here are the codes. These are government codes for the state of California, requiring all public officials and elected officials including mayors and the governor. Okay? Look at this, ranging from the governor to mayors to local school board members and agents. Go after their bonds. Sorry. I'm a little excited by all of this because I've been getting mixed messages, especially using that idiot Kevin. You see, he was giving me all kind of things that you couldn't do it, that you could only file a tort claim. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot file a lawsuit against a public official because they are immune while performing their official duties. Faithfully perform all official duties of them required of them by law. Well, if they fail to uphold their oath of office, which is what they took an oath to faithfully perform all official duties required of them by law, the bond requirements, blah, blah, blah. That's why you get to file against your bond, because you get to say, hey, they didn't do that. They violated my rights. You document the violation of rights. You don't have to prove it to the insurance company. Oh, by the way, the same thing as if you get into a car accident, you sue the insurance company. You're not suing the person. That's why they have insurance, so they are protected. You sue the insurance company. That's why you file a claim with the insurance company. We get rid of all this stupidity with them claiming immunity, saying that they can't be touched. MC Hammer, he ain't on top no more. You can touch this. Okay, so now it's time to reach out and touch somebody's hand and slap them in the back of their head when you can. Okay? Three Stooges. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, government and agencies require deputies and subordinates to procure surety bonds of their own to the public official or to be covered under the public official's bond. Finally, local agencies must submit an itemized summary of the cost of bond sales to California Department of Investment, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is the California Code. Every official bond shall be endorsed thereon and signed by the officer. So pay attention. The reason why they are endorsed, because they're financial instruments. Okay, it says, pay attention, endorsed thereon and signed. So a signature is not an endorsement. I'm so glad they brought this to our attention. All right, let's continue. We're going to skip all of that right there because y'all can look this up yourselves. What I'm doing is I'm just showing you what you're able to get. Now, you go to Perplexity by asking questions. You ask questions in Perplexity, and you go to the idiot. We'll show you in a minute. You go to the idiot, Kevin, to get clarification on the question, to give you case sites for the questions. We'll talk about it in a second. All right, California public officials bonding laws. So that's what I asked for. See, I first asked for the requirements that they be bonded, and then I asked for the actual laws demanding that they be bonded. Okay? And they are bonded. These laws require public officials and secondary obligors to pay a fixed amount if they do not faithfully perform their duties while in office. Now, do you think they can handle 20, 30, 40, 50 claims against their bonds? No, they cannot. No, they cannot. 2 claims against the bond, they're going to have some problems. I promise you they're going to get some act right. Now, if you don't believe me, everybody I've told to do this, this is what I tell everybody. Every single time they give me a complaint talking about they're having a problem with this official or that official, I give them this information here. I don't know a single person who's filed a claim against the bond of these public officials. But we have a video that we're going to be doing next dealing with mortgages, and I promise you, you're going to dig this. Let's continue. How to file a claim against the bond of a public official or government official for the state of California for damages. I put state of California in here because I needed an example, but it's the same thing in your state. California claims against the bond of public officials, government officials can be filed, blah, blah, blah. But this is going to give me the wrong information because this, you see, it talks about general contractors. Now, I understand why it's telling me general contractors, because every government official that takes an oath of office is contracting with government. That's what the oath of office is. I declare, I promise, I will. That's a contract, people. They're contracting for that position. That's why they get that absolute immunity protection, but it's also why they have to be bonded if they take an oath of office. Okay, there you go. All right, let's continue to the next part. When are we going to get to the good part? Now, they have their claim forms, but this is not the ones you want. This is for contractors, the other contractors, not the courts. Okay, let's continue. California bond claim requirements, and it tells you what you must do. You also must notify the claimant, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do this either by certified or registered mail or personal delivery. Certified or registered mail or personal delivery. Do you know how you do personal delivery to the post office? Signature required. That's how you do personal delivery. Signature required. Okay? Personal delivery, you just get the United States Postal Service worker to get a signature. Once you do that, that constitutes service of process, because the U.S. Postal Service is the official service processor for the United States. Okay, let's continue, shall we? Then we go here. Claim form for claims against bonds of government and public officials for the state of California. And again, it lets us know the California State Licensing Board. Now, of course, they're going to play dumb. They're going to act like they don't know what you're talking about. That's why I got the codes. Okay, and you let them know you are also licensed and bonded. Now, if you fail to provide me the information I'm requesting, which I have a right to receive, then I will file a claim against you for interfering with my rights, which will amount to insurance fraud. They cannot stop you from filing a claim. They're insured just in case they harm you. Let's continue. Ladies and gentlemen, we go right here. What does the claim process against government officials look like? Outline, please. California claim must be filed before an individual can sue a government entity or an employee for money damages. The claim must include, because you're accusing them of a crime. Remember, you have to charge them with a crime, a violation of your rights first, before you can go after them civilly. I've been saying it and saying it and saying it. That's why I'm telling you, go after their bond, because by going after their bond, you prove that they are not absolute immune. Whew, glad I got this out. Now, the reason why I didn't do this video with me asking these questions and going step by step, because that takes a long time. Look, we talked about this for 12 minutes. Now let's continue. What does the claim process against the government official's bond look like? Outline, please. Now, I did it again because it gave me the wrong one. So I had to reword it. Oh, no, I know what happened. It took the wrong word. No, this one was all right. It took the wrong, one of them took the wrong word. But I ended up having to reword it anyway. So there you go. It actually gives me the code. The claim must be made in accordance with this code and this section and the California Civil Procedure. The claim should include detailed chronology of the events with copies supporting documents, which should be sent to the surety bond fiscaltreasury.gov. Okay? Why? Because that's who their insurance company is. Shh, don't tell nobody. Yeah, the Treasury Department is the insurance company. What? You didn't know for most government officials? Well, that's the insurance company, the Treasury Department. Okay, no, never mind. You do the research, okay? Now, here it is. California government officials bond claim process. Okay, government officials, the bond claimant must provide a preliminary notice at least 20 days in advance. So you just got to send them notices. I've been sending them notices, y'all. I've been sending them notices. Okay, and the surety company is supposed to repay the obligee or the claimant for the claim if the claim is validated. That's why you got to document everything. Documentation is everything, man. Okay, hold on. Oh, and here are the little sections. Following a bond claim in California, and it says construction disputes. We don't want that. That's why I had to ask the question again. So watch this. Under 28 U.S. Code 631, federal judges and magistrates are required to obtain an exceptional bond obligation bond any amount determined by the Director of the Administrative Office of the United States Court. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to give me the wrong answer. This is for magistrates. This is not for judges. So we're going to skip this answer because it's going to answer again. Okay. Under 28 U.S. Code 372C, United States judges are required to give a bond with good and sufficient surety to the United States in an amount determined by the Attorney General. This bond is intended to cover any losses or damages as called by that official. I don't know. Y'all gonna give me my answer. Shoot. Okay, there it is right there. See, there it is right there. They let y'all know that that's the code. Now, hold on. We ain't finished yet. Now, requirement for police officers to, now see this says respondent, so that's the one that it did the wrong word, so I have to do it again. What are the requirements for a police officer to be bonded in the state of California? Well, police officers being bonded, it says when they take an oath of office, they're required to be bonded. So he gives me a little bit more details right here. I said, California police officers are required to take an oath of office and post a bond before entering upon their duties of their office. What are the requirements for filing, this is supposed to be filing, not following, a claim against the surety bond of a police officer? So he goes, to file a claim against the surety bond of a police officer, an individual must obtain the surety bond and oath of office, draft a letter of intent, and serve them papers, and then file a claim against the bondholder. The person filing the claim must also present themselves at the police station within 3 days of filing their application for a special police officer permit. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't read this. Hold on. The chief of police will investigate. That is interesting. Now, it says they have to present themselves in person. Okay? And it says must present themselves. Doesn't say. Now, I need to find this out. Surety company is not legally required to step in unless the bonded party has defaulted on their bond. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all definitely going to have to read this. California police officer surety bond. And it explains it again. And then here we go again. Here we go again. Okay. I can't stand the rain against my window. Okay. Beep, beep. Who's got the keys to the Jeep? All right. Government officials and public officials must be bonded. And this is what he says. So he gives me the laws. He gives me the sections of the code. He gives me case law. I asked him for 3 case laws supporting this. So he gave me 3 cases supporting it. So then I asked him, I said, thank you for not giving any legal advice and helping with this research project. Now I need the very same information regarding federal employees and obligational duties to abide by the code, which requires the officials, blah, 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 blah. And so he says, okay, sure. Because he says, certainly. Anyway, and then he gives me that information. Then I said, no. Now provide the requirements for the exception obligations bond for judicial officers. He gives me this junk. I said, no. I said federal officers, you ignorant mother. And he says, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And then he gives me this one. I said, See that one right there? Because I told him, 631, that ain't for federal judges. That's for magistrates. So, and I said, and that's what I told him. 631 ain't no for nobody's no mother federal judge. You ignorant mother. And he says, all right, homie. Look, I'm sorry, I did that. Federal judges under 372C, okay? And magistrates are under 631. Title 28 is the so-called Judiciary Act amended. Okay, then I said, Kevin. At least, he says, can use with the code and at least 3 cases supporting the following. And I put that in there, and he gives me my 3 cases. But he breaks it down, okay? Notice what he does. He says, under California Government Code, every peace officer must take and subscribe an oath of office or affirmation before entering their duties of the office. Their oath includes the promise to fulfill and discharge their duties of their office and support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of California. Additionally, under the Government Code 14501, Levi's, the government body of a city or county may require the officer and employee in its service to furnish a bond of indemnifying the city and the county against any harm that officer may do. And here are the codes and everything. That's for police officers. Look, ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you for a certainty is nobody's talking about this, but people really should start their own services helping people do this. You want to start a business? Pay attention! I apologize. There are a lot of people out there who are not working. I just told you how to start an actual business helping people called a public advocacy business. Real simple, ain't it? You have all the codes. You just been told how to acquire the codes. I told you exactly what questions to ask. Look at that. People could actually start a business helping people get some act right with police departments and government officials and state government officials. Ain't that interesting? Hey, we gotta go. 20 minutes and 7 seconds.